Hi, I'm Dan. I play bass in Breton.
I'm Roman. I sing in Breton.
My name is Adam and I play drums.
SRF Virus.
You're actually a perfect band for this festival because in Zurich now it's kind of the thing to do that you have an art space or a studio. And so half of the people got one and the other half laughs at people who have one. Yeah. And Breton started actually in a studio or an art space. Please share the story.
Yeah, that's right. We started off in a disused bank in London, which is it's quite. I mean, it's the same thing with any major city. It's quite rare that you find space to actually work in. And in a way, the horrible thing is if you, it's kind of what separates you from being able to really try and progress with a project, whether you're a filmmaker or a painter or a photographer or a band. And some of if you can find a space and a place to work in, then that's kind of like 90%, I think, of the battle. Because if you're trying to work at home or you're trying to work on a laptop, or you never really get lost in what you're doing, I don't think. So we're quite fortunate in that respect.
I'm going to say this a little tongue-in-cheek, don't get me wrong, but you are so artsy, you couldn't even decide on whether you want to make movies or you want to make music.
We still haven't decided, no. Like, I think, obviously we've released, though the first record was, people got quite excited about it, and we hadn't really anticipated that one part of our project would be more successful than other parts. We just assumed we'd do the sort of art space stuff that we did and squat parties and then film stuff, cinema stuff, and I think people caught on to the first record a lot quicker than we imagined that they would. So it meant that we joined this kind of strange circuit of touring and releasing records, and it's amazing fun. But it's also we've kind of tried to keep as much of the aspects of the original aspects of what we do in the band as possible.
Could you see it as a huge guerrilla marketing stunt for your movies?
Yeah, basically a marketing stunt that went slightly wrong, but yeah.
And that's interesting. You actually produce on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just press play for the movies or the
visuals
right. You show. Did ever go something wrong? Because there's so many wrong buttons you can push.
Dan's good at knowing when he's got a list of all the ones that went wrong.
Line them up. There was one show where we have one side of the stage, on the right-hand side of the stage is where largely our electronics are based. And we were playing a show in Leeds. This is quite a while ago, right? And quite early on, and everything went wrong. Like everything, like the screen broke. The screen looked like it was in pain. Like you really wanted to help it, and we couldn't bring it back, and like, lots of stuff crashed, and it was just maybe the worst gig we've ever played.
There was another one that was in France, and it was like televised, enormous show that we played. And the screen behind us was in like the size of the size of that. It was enormous, the size of a building. And at one point, some stage guy thought something was wrong and ran across the stage and kicked a cable, and the entire screen just went blue. So I mean, I think people just thought we were just having like this very minimal approach to visuals. But yeah, and like, things do go wrong. I think that's the whole point of playing live, and I think that's the whole point of not, it's so easy for people to go on SoundCloud and YouTube and to listen to everything you've ever made. And it's so easy to put that on your iPod and listen to it on your phone. And you have to offer them something at a live show. And I think the thing about a live show is it can go completely wrong, or it can be like a religious experience, It's never really the same thing twice.
Do you guys have any pre-show rituals? Some things you go through all the time before going on stage?
Alcohol, smoking, rolling up the sleeves. Granddads.
My VJ gets punched in the leg a little bit.
It's like to hype him up like blood.
Yes,
get blood going.
Yeah.
Not really none of that stuff.
It depends. It depends, I think, on where we are and how long we have before a show.
Have you actually ever played underneath a runway? Did you see the planes?
No.
What, under a flight path?
Yeah.
No, we haven't. I'm looking forward to it. How do you time it with the noise of the planes?
We don't.
Yeah, okay,
you don't. Yeah, you're lucky you're playing in the tent, right?
Yeah. Maybe we can trigger some sounds of some planes flying overhead just to confuse people.
All right. What's the weirdest thing you've ever encountered in terms of audience behavior?
I think we once played a show in France, really early on, where we The most people we'd ever played in front of was about 100, 200 people. And then we were booked on this show, and it was part of this new art space that had been opened in France, which was like this cinema and tech kind of museum. It was really cool. And before we played, we got on stage and it was really quiet. And we looked out next to the side of the stage and there was about 800 or 900 people all just sitting on the floor, which is like this sort of weird hippie vibe. And we thought maybe we're going to go on and then it'll be like, just chilling, watching it like it's a sort of open air cinema thing. And as soon as we came on stage, they all just stood up. It was like a really weird experience.
Yeah, there's a couple in Switzerland actually. There's one place we play in, I think it's in Zurich, where there's the dancing guy who's at every show, and he rocks the most outrageous shirts.
Everybody knows him.
He's a legend. And then there's another one we played it in Switzerland also, which was in a swimming pool. So whilst we were playing, people were swimming beside the stage. So that was kind of a weird scenario.
Yeah, we were just sort of playing songs and there was people on lilos in bikinis sort of swimming past us.
That's kind of nice.
There's worse shows to play.
It sounds like you landed in heaven already. All right, so let's hope for weird behavior and for Dancing Guy showing up.
I really
tonight,
hope.
Right?
I hope he's there. Yeah, if anyone sees him, send them in send him some pictures on the Facebook.
All right, thanks a lot, Guy. Have fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
SRF Virus.